The term mission statement explains why a company is in business. A mission statement should explain what kind of services the company is going to offer, where they're going to offer these services, and who it sees as customers. The vision statement, on the other hand, explains why anybody should care. The mission statement and vision statement, people often confuse them, but again, mission statement means why we're in business, vision means why anybody should care. These are important for a company because these are supposed to be the guiding principles. This is supposed to be why we're in business and why anybody should care, and everyone who works for the company should understand that. They are so important because when a company goes away from their mission statement, they usually screw up. So Coca-Cola went away from its mission statement many years ago. They bought a movie studio, and they thought by having a movie studio and having the actors drinking Coca-Cola in the movies, that it would make people want to buy Coca-Cola. Unfortunately for Coke, they didn't know anything about making movies. So it's not surprising that they were just a failure at it. And a few years later, they sold the movie studio for much less than they purchased it. So that was a huge failure. Mission statements are important. The term strategy. A strategy is how you plan to win. The term strategic, in the world of business, anytime they talk about something being strategic, they're talking about something that's important for years down the road, and it is usually covered, it's usually decided by top management. So a strategic plan is the long-term plan for a company to maintain a competitive advantage. The term strategic plan means the same thing as corporate plan. So in your classes, if you read somewhere corporate plan, strategic plan, they mean the same thing. It means the long-term plan for a company. Now, I just used the word competitive advantage. A competitive advantage is what a company does better than its competitors. All companies must have a competitive advantage or they will go out of business. So I gave the example of Hershey and Jimmy Mall, that it did not have a competitive advantage on McDonald's, and so eventually it went out of business. I also, the important thing with competitive advantage is that it can be many things that gives you a competitive advantage. It can be higher quality. So Apple has a competitive advantage on higher quality. People perceive the quality of Apple products higher than they do some of their competitors. Competitive advantage can be location. So ADNOC can charge more for a bottle of water than you would pay at Carrefour. They can do that because it's convenience. You're willing to pay 1.5 dirhams, 2 dirhams for a bottle of water at ADNOC simply because it's more convenient than having to drive all the way to Carrefour to buy a bottle of water. So there's many ways you can have a competitive advantage. SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The S stands for strengths, W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. Strengths are what a company is good at. And this is often referred to as the core competencies for a company. The word core means at the center. So for you, your core, this is, when you talk about core exercises, it's talking about the center of you. Word competency means what you are good at. So a core competency are the things that a company are good at doing. Usually the core competencies are what gives a company a competitive advantage. And last but not least on strengths and weaknesses, last but not least on strengths, is that strengths are internal. It's inside you. It's the things you are good at. And for a company, it's the things the company is good at. The term weaknesses are what a company is not good at. Good companies are honest with themselves, and they are willing to admit, these are the things we're good at, these are our strengths, these are our core competencies, and these are the things that we are not good at. Weaknesses are also internal. They're inside the company. These are the things that the company is not good at. Opportunities. Opportunities are a chance to do something new. For opportunities, there are no guarantees that the opportunity is going to work out. So you can try something new, and whether it works or not is often determined by things outside of your control. And so an opportunity is a chance to try something new, but no guarantee it will be a success. In fact, most things that companies try, they fail at. That's just a fact. Most of the things that they come out with and try are not successes. So opportunity is a chance to try something new, but it is considered external because whether or not it is a success depends on external factors, depends on many other things, and so it is external. Threats. Threats are external forces that can hurt a company. There are many different threats that all companies face. The chance of new competition. So in class, I gave the example of opening a new coffee shop and a new competitor opens just down the road. If your coffee shop is super successful, somebody may open a coffee shop next to you. That there may be a new product or service that comes along that people like better than yours. So there's substitution involved. There could be a new technology. I think I showed you the example of the Google Jazz, or sorry, not Google, Jazz drives from 20 years ago, that when flash drives came out, all of a sudden nobody wanted those Jazz drives. And within a year, that company went out of business simply because a new technology came along that was much better. And let's face it, what we're dealing with right now, this worldwide pandemic, is absolutely a threat to business. So it's external. There's nothing any existing business did to either create or not create the virus, but it's absolutely a threat to many businesses around the world. So again, threats are considered external because they are outside the company, and there is nothing the company can do about it. It is what it is. Okay. So in the next video, I'm going to give some examples of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and hopefully that will go well. So that's it for now. Move on to video 2.